motto. Well, I thought that was kind of corny. But then I thought she was so insistent about it. I thought, okay. So I came up with stay fascinated. So if you ever get an email from me, you'll get that on the bottom. I know it's not probably the most professional thing, but I'm sticking with it. And how can we stay fascinated? Because of a little verse I found out of the Message Bible, Psalm 45:11. The king is wild for you. Well, that really sums it up. The one who's in charge of everything is crazy about us. So we can really just stay fascinated every day because we know that what he is doing is good. He is altogether good, and he will work everything out for good. And what's the saying? If it's not, it's all good in the end, and if it's not good, it's not the end. So the not yets and all of that, I love to say. But the other thing is really just being a believer that God uses our limitations. I've always believed that closed doors form hallways, and that's just how I like to see a closed door. Okay, we're going to go somewhere else. And in my own life, I've just seen there's so many options. Sometimes having so many options is stressful, but I have a whole lot of options that are cut off. Those doors are closed. I'm not going to take up watercolor. I'm not going to go, and do a lot of window shopping. There's just a lot of things I'm not going to do, but that's okay because God's just really simplifying things. And I found that before, whether it's your economic situation or your health or the kids, your grandkids all move far away so you can't see them every day. All of those things are really just God directing your life towards the things that he has called you to do. Because we all know, that he has a calling on our life from before we were born. He has great things for us to do. Not that we're only that, because he would just love us just for us, no matter what. But that those limitations can actually help. So in my life, I've just really been helped, I think, by just believing that whatever it comes my way is from him. Another, I can't think of the French theologian, Pierre de Caussade, said basically every moment is an ambassador of the will of God. Isn't that great? Every moment is an ambassador of the will of God. I can open every moment as a gift and be surprised. I think sometimes our circumstances are just the envelope. And if we open the envelope of our circumstances, you know what's inside every time? Is this beautiful gilded invitation to meet with the King of Kings. So it may look like a crumpled, dirty envelope of the worst circumstances, but if you just open it up inside, there again is an invitation to meet with the King of Kings, who is in charge of everything and wild for us. So I think I'll stop on that. Is that good enough?
Oh my gosh, what a captivating message. I mean, darkness trembles when you walk into the room. I love that. And the fact that you see yourself in the darkness, being able to put your head in his chest.
Yeah. But it's true for all of us.
And the sweater you're wearing today is a bunch of little white dots that are like radiating. So to me, I was like, oh, that's like the opposite of like what you said you see. It's like all of the energy of all of the light and the contrast with that.
So anyway, I don't get distracted. If I'm with you, I'm not gonna be looking at your cute purse. So having limitations is pretty helpful.
Jen, your story reminded me of my life verse, which is Romans 8:28. And I've that has been tested quite a few times. And just with me recently, I went through some major health issues in 23 and into early 24 where tremendous amount of really terrible pain in my hands, just white hot fire, and I wasn't sleeping. They were throwing every drug at me so I could sleep. I lost 25 pounds of muscle mass in 3 months because my body was starting to shut down, and I had some very late night in the middle, and it always was the worst in the middle of the night, of course. Yes. The pain. And I had some very special moments with God because I got to the point it was like, I'm holding on to Romans 8:28, but I don't see where this is headed. Yes. And at my darkest moments, God met me where I was at and got me through it and guided the surgeon's hands, and I'm pain-free today.
That's amazing.
But it changed my life. It changed my viewpoint. It made me more humble. It made me more appreciative of what I have. It made me appreciate people that struggle with pain or whatever. I sometimes was a little callous. Oh, it can't be that bad. Oh, I know what bad is, you know. And so it changed me. I'm just a different person now in 2025. And so somebody asked me, they go, so you sound like you're almost thankful that you went through it. And I said, yeah, I am, because I'm a different person now because of it.
It's so true. It really is true. When I used to do a lot more of the screening of our volunteers at Love Columbia, I was always kind of secretly trying to find out, had they ever been through anything really hard? Because if they hadn't, I thought they would probably just judge all of our clients. But I think it does breed that empathy. I heard Tim Keller quoted in one of his books on suffering, a man who had developed ALS, and he was praying and said that he said, Lord, he was an athlete. He said, I've never liked to be sidelined. And he said, and he felt the Lord said to him, oh no, you've been sidelined your whole life. You're now just going into the game. So again, you just went into the game. I think in many ways when you had that happen with your hands and all of that, God can really use these hard things.
If we allow.
If we allow him to,
That's right.
yes, yeah. Well,
What other questions do we have? Anything anybody wants to share?
So, just another question. You kind of touched on it, that you're a better listener. What other, now that you cannot see, how do you see the world now? I know that sounds, but what has changed?
I choose, you all are so gorgeous. I just choose to think of everybody as really handsome or beautiful.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Why imagine anything that's not, so, I have this view in my head, and so I'm always really surprised someone will say something, because I just kind of try to picture the world, very beautiful. But I think it does help I'm not distracted by so many things. I think I'm just not distracted, and I don't think that I get hung up, obviously on people's appearance, so I think it's really helped. I think sometimes I pick up things in a room or a conversation that other people miss because they are distracted by the visual.
Definitely.
So I think that's helpful. I was telling Claire on the way over here, I'm
I'm
never on my phone when I'm with you.
But she knows if you are.
I do know when people are on their phone, usually you can tell, but anyway, so I think but we all have, but I need help. I need a lot of help just with the things that I can't see, and so it does help us, just the interconnectedness of us all. There was a quote I shared with our staff on Monday at our staff meeting, but divine perfection is precisely the ability of including the imperfection. Okay, divine perfection is precisely the ability to include imperfection. And so it's amazing how he can use our weaknesses to make his story better, isn't it? I'm just amazed. One little quick example, Claire's mother is Kelly Van Doren, who's our longtime trainer for our Extra Mile coaching program. That's where we match a volunteer and they go through a 16-week kind of Weight Watchers for Your Money financial coaching. And she was having a training this week, and 2 people came to be trained, and she had to step out of the room at one point and left them reading something. And when she came back, the one trainee, Jennifer, said, Amber, the other one, I think you need to tell her. And so Amber said, I think there was a mistake. I was supposed to sign up to participate in the program, not be trained. And so, but then Jennifer piped up and said, but we have fallen in love and I want to be your coach. And so it just seemed like that was just a perfect example for the staff of how even if you do something, there's a mistake, there's something that would seem to go awry, God can make that part of his perfect story, can't he?
Mm.
So think it encouraged all of us. Well, you all have been great listeners.